sides of the story.
We always need to hear both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
Yes, both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Hour 106.
If we must die, let it not be like hogs, hunted and penned in an inglorious spot, while round us bark the mad and hungry dogs, making their mock at our accursed lot. If we must die, oh, let us nobly die, so that our precious blood may not be shed in vain. Then even the monsters we defy shall be constrained to honor us, though dead. O kinsmen, we must meet the common foe. Though far outnumbered, let us show us brave, and for their 1,000 blows deal one death blow. What though before us lies the open grave? Like men, we'll face the murderous cowardly pack, pressed to the wall, dying but fighting back.
Do you know what it means to have a revolution? And what it takes to make a solution? Fighting against oppression, ooh yeah. Battering down depression, oh yeah. Are you ready to stand up and fight the right revolution? Are you ready to stand up and fight it just like soldiers? Many are called, few are chosen. Many are called, few are chosen. Ooh yeah, ooh yeah, gotta fight the right fight in this time. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Are you ready to stand up and fight the right revolution? Are you ready to stand up and fight it just like so? live on forever. Yeah. And love one another. Boy. A man is made according to his word. Oh, yeah. Say we gotta live on forever. Love each other. We gotta live on forever. And love one another. Oh, yeah.
It's the International Decade of Healthy Aging, the International Decade of Ecosystem Restoration, the International Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, and the Decade of Action for Road Safety. And 2022 marks the start of the UN International Decade of Indigenous Languages. It's the third day of the second month of 2022, the International Year of Sustainable Mountain Development, the International Year of Basic Sciences for Sustainable Development, the International Year of Glass, and the International Year of Artisanal Fisheries and Aquaculture. Black History Month activities continue in America, while here in Jamaica, Reggae Month and Heart Month activities are on in earnest, even as World Interfaith Harmony Week activities ensue. In the meantime, Vietnamese around the world are marking the foundation of the Vietnamese Communist Party. It's Heroes Day in Mozambique, Liberty Heroes Day in Sao Tome and Principe, San Blaise in Paraguay, Setsu Bun in Japan, Patient Recognition Day in the USA, and here in Jamaica, we're still observing Restorative Justice Week. Hoy es jueves el 3 de febrero 2022 y les saludamos en cualquier parte del mundo que nos están escuchando en este momento. Estamos muy agradecidos por el don de la vida y el privilegio de servirles en otra edición de su programa Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia. Nunca vamos a tomar su audiencia por sentado porque sabemos que ustedes tienen otras opciones y esta es la razón por la cual jamás olvidamos darle las gracias por elegir Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia, de lunes a viernes desde las 2 hasta las 5 de la tarde, aquí en Power 106 FM. La misión continúa para educar, capacitar, iluminar y estimular el espíritu empresarial. Bienvenidos.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:15.
Accurate and personalized.
Thank
service
you.
is what you
That
get
worked
at
out well.
Rose Pharmacy. They have
I'm
the
saying
best
thanks.
medicine
That worked
and the
out well.
best rates. At Rose Pharmacy, they're more than a business. They're family. Conveniently located at Shop 8 Presa Plaza,
Okay.
1 Wharf Road, Morant Bay. Call 876-516-8183 or 876-782-9488. No one offers service better than us.
Did you know that the flu can lead to hospitalization and even death? Pregnant women, persons 60 years and older, babies and children, and persons with a chronic illness such as diabetes, asthma, or heart disease are at a high risk for complications from the flu. Get the flu vaccine today. Visit your nearest health center and ask to be vaccinated. The flu is no joke. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Get ready for Rocksteady. Get ready for the music of legends. The Saturday Fame Frequency takes you through the years with the classic eras from Rocksteady to the 80s with music mixed by the Captain Colin Hines and DJ Denbo from Fame 95 FM and the debutant from Hits 92 FM, Troy McLean. That's Fame Frequency, the classic eras of reggae, 9 p.m. to midnight. Join your host Nisha Yen in our VIP Zoom Watch Yourself area and live on Fame 95 FM, Hits 92 FM, Radio Jamaica 94 FM, and RETV, or online at onespotmedia.com and on the Fame Frequency Mixed Cloud channel. Fame Frequency Reggae Month Reggae Salute is sponsored by Smirnoff Vodka, the world's #1 vodka. You must be 18 years or older to drink. Drink responsibly. By Grace Tropical Rhythm. Join the rhythm. And by the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment, and Sport.
Are you ready to stand up and fight the right revolution? Are you ready to stand up and fight it just like soldiers? Many are called, few are chosen. Many are called, few are chosen.
C'est jeudi le 3 février 2022 et nous vous saluons tous qui nous écoutez où que vous soyez dans le monde. Nous sommes reconnaissants du don de la vie ainsi que du privilège d'être à votre service pour une nouvelle édition de votre programme Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre. Nous ne considérons pas votre fidélité comme l'un de soi parce que nous savons que vous avez l'embarras du choix. C'est pourquoi nous n'oublions jamais de vous remercier de choisir d'écouter Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre, du lundi au vendredi de 2h à 5h de l'après-midi sur notre antenne Power 106 FM. Nous continuons notre mission d'éduquer, d'habiliter, d'éclairer et d'encourager l'esprit d'entreprise. Bienvenue. All we're saying is it's Thursday, the 3rd of February, 2022, and we greet you well, wherever in the world you are listening to us right now. We remain eternally grateful for the gift of life and the privilege to serve you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. We don't ever take your listenership for granted because we know you have choices. And that's why we never ever forget to remember to say thanks for choosing to listen to Both Sides of the Story Monday to Friday, 2 to 5, right here on Power 106 FM. The mission continues to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Welcome. Good afternoon to those of you listening to us on 106.1, 106.3, 106.5, 106.7, and 106.9. From Moran Point to Negril Point, from the Goat Islands to Galena Point. This is Power 106 FM, serving Jamaica and the diaspora. Hello to those tuned in via the Power 106 FM app, which you can download from the App Store or the Google Play Store, depending on the nature of your device. Downloading is free, listening is free, whenever, wherever. Hello to those who have dialed one of two designated numbers for the United States and the United Kingdom. Those who'd like to listen to Power 106 FM by dialing a number. If you're in the United States and you wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM, your number is 631 359 8281. 631 359 8281. If you're in the United Kingdom and you wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM, your number is 0330 606 0953. 0330 606 0953. We're streaming live video on the Dervan Malcolm Facebook page and affiliated pages. If you're not there yet, log on to Facebook. In the search box atop the page, type DERVAN MALCOLM, and you too will be able to not just hear, but see what's happening in the studios of Power 106 FM. We welcome those of you who have found other ways and means of listening and tuning in, and we thank you very much. We also look forward to your full participation. After all, it is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. And we always look forward to your calls on 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113, 876-922-4114, and 876-922-4115. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages and your WhatsApp messages, but also your voice notes, and you can call us via WhatsApp. That WhatsApp number, which doubles as the text line, is 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. Looking forward to your full participation. After all, it is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. We started this afternoon by that rather timeless piece by the great Jamaican poet laureate, Claude McKay, If We Must Die. If We Must Die. And that's matched with the ever refreshing sound of the Crown Prince of Reggae, Dennis Emmanuel Brown, on this the third day of Reggae Month, and a couple of days after Dennis Brown's the anniversary of Dennis Brown's birthday. And also, we were reminded yesterday, we didn't get around to sharing this bit of information while we were on yesterday, but we were reminded by Stephen Cat-Core of Third World that the 2nd of February, yesterday, marked 8 years since we lost Bunny Ruggs. I just can't believe it's been 8 years already. That's shocking. Where did the time go? And it happened in a Reggae Month, the 2nd of February, 8 years ago. And we all know of the contribution of Bunny Ruggs to reggae music in Jamaica and the world. Outstanding, outstanding. Thank you for that reminder, Stephen Cat-Core. All the very best to you and the Third World team. Thank you. And so let's go now. There are a couple of stories that are trending, and let's go straight ahead. The police have found 13 guns, 13 guns at a Trelawney housing development. This story just came in relatively shortly, relatively recently. Just in, police find 13 guns at Trelawney housing development. The police are still at the scene conducting further operations. Close to 100 illegal guns have been seized by the police since the start of the year. 13 guns, including 10 high-powered rifles. We have been telling you about these high-powered rifles for years now. These are the weapons of choice, the tall-up, among other names. 13 guns, including 10 high-powered rifles, have been seized in a police operation in the Florence Hall housing scheme in Trelawney. That's the word from law enforcement sources. One man was shot and killed in the operation this morning. His identity has not yet been ascertained. And when you hear that word ascertained, it's just a long word for not yet known, has not yet been ascertained. So we don't yet know. We don't yet know. That information we haven't been able to get, right? And not just get that information, but to the accuracy of it is important. And when it comes to ascertaining, trying to find out something, we want to make sure. So to find out something for certain, because you can see the word certain in the word ascertained as well. So his identity has not yet been ascertained. You could use confirmed as well, etc., etc. It is reported that following the man's death, the guns were found during the search of a house. The police, as we said, are still at the scene conducting further operations. And these 13 guns, plus maybe, let me see, 8 and 3, 11. These 13 plus a couple more, bringing the total, well, close to 100 illegal guns. How many were we told the other day? We were at 88, I think. And yeah, so it's close to 100, if not more, illegal guns that have been seized by the police since the start of the year. But we can't start celebrating yet. We have to continue to be relentless in trying to disarm as many of us as possible. And that would be those of us illegally in possession of firearms or using firearms illegally. And we know there's a nuanced difference there. So that's the big story right now. 13 guns at a Trelawney housing development, and the police are still at the site. And it seems the police are getting some very good intelligence these days. People are feeding them with information. Remember Stadium East? Stadium East was given clearance to get back to normal a few days ago, after the law enforcers became satisfied enough that they had cleared the area, in inverted commas, cleared the area. And now this. Well, let's see. Let's see if this is a trend going forward. But clearly the police are being fed some serious intelligence. Let's see who is next on the list. Which premises will be searched next? Several JLP protesters want MP Marsha Smith out. Well, ever so often we have to remind the elected officials of the power of the people. The reminder is very necessary, because invariably we canvass, we go house to house or door to door. We lift up babies with soaking wet nappies. Do babies wear nappies anymore these days? I don't think so. It's all about Pampers, and then the dogs pull the Pampers out of the garbage bins and they're strewn all over the place. What a mess. And there are those of us who improperly dispose of Pampers and other things in the toilet as well. No, but seriously, back to this subject here. Yeah, so when they're in pursuit of the vote or for them to be elected, they're out there and they're in the trenches and they're doing everything. But invariably, once they get settled in and some of them start to feel really comfortable, they then just forget why you ever forget sometimes why you're in a certain space in the simplest of ways. You get up and you go into the kitchen and you don't remember why you're in the kitchen. What did you what did you plan to go for in the kitchen? One moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now 2:30. It continues to
Both
be
sides
all
of the
smiles
story.
at
Good
Wellington
afternoon.
Dental. We offer dental care for the
Good
entire
afternoon.
family, including cleaning.
We're not on
hearing,
air now. We're
whitening, and
actually
other
off
dental
air. Do you want to be
services.
on air?
There's wheelchair access
Yes.
and an exciting play area for the children. Wellington Dental, 57 Wellington Street, Spanish Town. Telephone 876-984-5482 or 876-749-3515. Did you know that the National Irrigation Commission Limited is the sole authority for irrigation systems in Jamaica? The National Irrigation Commission Limited.
I don't know which one you're talking. Is it Delia Walker Huntington?
Through the provision of efficient and affordable irrigation to farmers.
That would have been
and other
on
customers.
Power Talk with
Contact them
Simon Proskill.
977-6624 or 977-6727.
Let me see. Let me see if I have
www.nicjamaica.com
number
to learn more. Irrigation,
for
making the
her.
difference in agriculture. Consumer Talks, educating and empowering consumers towards
She was
more
on
vigilant
today as
and
well.
confident consumer-friendly
Anyway.
Jamaica. Join us every second and last Tuesday of each month at 9:35 on Real Business. Listen and learn about your rights and responsibilities. Learn how the CAC works to empower consumers in Jamaica. Consumer Talks, brought to you by the Consumer Affairs Commission. Protecting your rights, securing our future. Do you know what it means to have a revolution? And what it takes to make a solution? Fighting against oppression, ooh, yeah. Battering down depression, oh yeah.
Yes, so we were making the point, invariably people get elected as members of parliament and they forget why they have been sent to parliament, why they have been given enough votes to get them into parliament. It's to serve the people. That's really what it is. It's about public service. It's about serving the people. But invariably, we get carried away with our position and all that comes with it. Now, I don't know enough about this person. In fact, I didn't remember that somebody with that name was also elected to parliament. I really didn't until I was wondering, Marsha, who? That's what I was wondering. But such is the nature of so we're not making a pronouncement on this specific case, but we're just saying when you find members of the constituency having to protest against the leadership of their political representative, then it means they are doing what citizens are supposed to do, holding their representatives to account, and they must give an account. And if they can't give account of their stewardship, if they fail to do better at the urgings of the people, then they'll have to answer to the people ultimately when next an election, a general election, is called. But that's what a democracy is about. You get an opportunity to serve. If you do well, then people will always, for the most part, in general terms, people will re-elect you and support you. But if you start slacking off and slip sliding away, they're going to help you by cutting you loose at the ballots. So it is. Pearl Brown, Miss Pearl says, Sir D, you just spoke about Bunny Ruggs. He was my friend. The last time I sat with him, he gave me a Jamaica Celebrate 50 CD. May his soul rest in peace. Yes, yes, indeed. We remember Bunny Ruggs fondly. One of the exponents of reggae music at home and abroad. Clarky Bless in Hunstown, St. Mary says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Happy Thursday to you and your listeners. On behalf of the Hunstown CCA Benevolent Society, I just want to extend sincere condolences to the family, friends, LMAJ St. Mary chapter, and the St. Mary JP Association on the passing of the late Reverend Kermit Jones, JP. He passed away sometime last week. The entire parish of St. Mary mourns his passing. May his soul rest in peace and light perpetual shine on him. Clarky Bless in Hunstown, St. Mary. Thank you very much, Clarky Bless in Hunstown, St. Mary, for placing on record your condolences at the passing of Reverend Kermit Jones. We join you in that regard. Hello to Calvin in North York, Ontario, Canada. Welcome. And there are some other messages we're trying to clear very quickly. Norman Wright, good afternoon to you. Thank you very much. And let's see who else we need to acknowledge. Let's see who else we need to acknowledge here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5, and we're going to check what else is trending right now. So we shared the story of those 13 guns found, according to the police. Let's see what else is trending. Oh, wanted man among 2 arrested in St. James. That's another story trending right now. 2 men, one of whom was recently listed among more than 88 wanted people, have been arrested in St. James. 2 men, one of whom was recently listed among more than 88 wanted people, have been arrested in St. James. They are Gerald McNaughton, age 36, Heights in Flanker, St. Jones, 23, otherwise called Dapper, and Rose Heights in St. James. The police say McNaughton was apprehended in Top Bay, Discovery Bay, St. Anne, on Sunday, the 23rd of January. Following a question and answer session yesterday, he was charged with murder, wounding with intent, and shooting with intent. Meanwhile, Jones was handed over to the police yesterday. He had been listed as wanted since March 2021. After being interviewed yesterday, Jones was charged with murder and wounding with intent. The police are urging people to be vigilant and to report wanted people to their local police or Crime Stop at 311. Crime Stop 311. And Crime Stop, we remind you, is an award-winning program. We don't use it enough in Jamaica. We don't use Crime Stop enough in Jamaica. If more of us were using it, more of us would actually, apart from saving lives, more of us would be a little richer than we are right now, because they're paying out some good money as well. For it shouldn't have to be people should freely come forward and give information. But the mankind is the way mankind is, and the experts feel this is one way of encouraging people to talk, encouraging people to call, encouraging people to report, and it is what it is. People are also encouraged to report suspicious and or strange people, because remember, there's a lot of displacement taking place. So the police move into an area, and those who are made to feel uncomfortable move out of the area or relocate, or they go somewhere, as we say in Jamaica, to cool out or cool off, cut a place hot, as they would say. That's a bit of how it is on the street. So the police are warning that it is a serious offense to harbor criminals. We want to take the opportunity to congratulate those citizens of Jamaica who have been feeding the police with information that has been leading to the arrest and charge of certain individuals, the general apprehension of certain individuals. And we wish them well, and we want to encourage more of us to step forward, come forward, step up to the plate, as they say, and play our part in advancing the welfare of the whole human race. But of course, passing christening picnic first. So let's start with our people right here in Jamaica. Let's dance a yard before we dance abroad. Raskava, we heard you earlier on, continuing your campaign, trying to get justice for Nzinga King, the young woman whose locks were reportedly cut while in police custody. Well, the Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, Paula Llewellyn, says the ruling in the Nzinga King locks cutting case is 95% complete. The ruling is 95% complete. Well, we trust and hope that the remaining 5% will be covered and completed within the next, at least the most, the next 5 days, we hope. Ideally, right now, but we don't want to rush the Director of Public Prosecutions, like those hospitality workers at a certain resort who did just that. When I say rush now, not in the Jamaican rush, but asking her if she could free a certain person who has been incarcerated for murder. Can you believe that? That's not how the system works, people. That's not how it works. As we keep saying, this is not a banana republic, and we don't have any kangaroo courts in Jamaica. We still have some integrity left in this country. It's not all gone. We still have men and women of integrity in this country. So the story is Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP Paula Llewellyn, says her ruling in the case of the cutting of the locks of Rastafarian Nzinga King is now 95% complete. According to Ms. Llewellyn, her office is only awaiting the finding of a forensic examination it has requested through the Independent Commission of Investigations, INDICOM. She says INDICOM has made the request of the Government Forensic Lab. One moment, please.
106.
106 FM. The time is now
2:45.
Tom, Dick, Harry, or Abby, come out. You may have passed one subject or no subject. Pick up yourself, man. Brush yourself off and go back to school. Get up. No need to be depressed. The Ligani School is offering refresher courses to you with or without CXC subjects. They're registering right now. Give yourself a fresh start. Call the Ligani School at 876-924-3244 or visit YWCA 51 Arnold Road, Kingston 5 for registration.
The Auto World.
It's the only program on Jamaican radio dedicated to the world of automobile. It's the Auto World with Shelley and McLagan. Get news and reviews relating to vehicles and automotive technology. Learn the ins and outs of mechanical operation. Find out about the various stakeholders in the local and international automotive sectors. From auto finance to road safety to motorcycles, the Auto World is your one-stop shop for everything auto. That's the Auto World with Shelley and McLagan. Weekdays at 5:15 p.m. on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, for those who have been curious to find out what has happened to the case of Nzinga King, the case of the cutting of her locks. And if you're just tuning in, as we were saying before the break, the DPP has disclosed that a ruling in the Nzinga King locks cutting case is 95% complete. She says her office is only awaiting the finding of a forensic examination it has requested through the Independent Commission of Investigations, INDICOM. Ms. Llewellyn said INDICOM had made the request of the Government Forensic Laboratory. She said, once the report is received, the legal opinion will be completed in a day or two, and she will recommend that it be made public. King, 19, alleges that her dreadlocks were cut by a policewoman while she was in the custody of the Four Paths Police at the Four Paths Police Station last year. Her attorney, Isaac Buchanan, told the Gleaner that he's disappointed by the delay in his client's case. And he wouldn't be the only one disappointed. Let's see. A couple of other stories. Biden says U.S. forces killed IS leader during raid in Syria. That's overseas. And terrible, horrific story of a woman being chopped to death and her husband injured in an attack. Is it that because the guns are being taken away, on the face of it, in general terms, that people are turning to cutting implements or stabbing implements? The Gleaner's story online says there's a pall of gloom over the Buxton town community of St. Catherine following the gruesome murder of a woman and the injury of her husband. The police say about 1 a.m., an attacker or attackers armed with a machete invaded the couple's residence and chopped them. The woman died on the scene while the man was admitted to hospital in serious condition. What is that all about? Goodness. And I think we'll leave it there. Let's pause there for a moment. Let's leave it there for a moment. Those are some of the stories that are doing the rounds. But the main story is, if you missed it, the police are reporting 13 guns being found at a Trelawney housing development. And The 10 of them are high-powered rifles. And these are the ones that we need to get, because these are the ones that have been common. We have been talking about it for a few years, at least a few years. Even before COVID, we've been talking about these long guns that the enforcers in these communities are using. And the police seem to be getting around to getting more of these high-powered rifles. These are the weapons of choice. Well, let's just continue to be relentless and feed the police with information. Nobody needs to know. We have an award-winning Crime Stop program, which has never been compromised. We have a witness protection program that has never been compromised either. Let's take advantage of the existing tried, tested, and proven institutions in this country. In the meantime, let's continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, here on Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. And taking your calls on 876-922-4112 to 5, 876-922-4112 to 5. The email address is bothsides106@live.com, bothsides106@live.com. I did say I was going to leave it there, but here's some relief from those who have been assaulted by a 24-year-old suspected serial rapist. Detectives in St. James have charged 24-year-old O'Dane Jackson, a suspected serial rapist who was busted in the parish last week. According to the Corporate Communications Unit of the Constabulary Force, Jackson, who hails from the community of Norwood, has been charged with assault at common law, assaulting a female, 2 counts of rape, 2 counts of robbery with aggravation, and buggery. The charges are in relation to 3 separate cases. Jackson was arrested on Friday, the 28th of January, at Fairview, Montego Bay in St. James by a police team that went to investigate when they heard screams in the area. He was later put on an identification parade and charged after being pointed out. The police say Jackson remains a suspect in other cases committed in and around the Montego Bay area. Imagine the trauma of those who were abused and violated at the hands of this individual who has been charged. Trauma. We keep coming back to that. We're a country of traumatized people. We're a country of traumatized people, and we've always said on this program, hurt people hurt people. Hurt people hurt people, and we have a lot of people who are hurting, and they seek to share that hurt with the rest of us, as they did in the individual reportedly did in these cases. Are you ready to stand up and fight for the right revolution? Dennis Brown asks. Let that sink in as we go to a call. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling Both Sides of the Story.
Good afternoon, Dervan.
Good afternoon. It's been a while. How are you?
I'm good, giving thanks and praise. And congratulations to you on your 22nd wedding anniversary. Going good.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Dervan, some of the things when I'm speaking, I'm speaking with journalists for years. One of the things, that I principally like debate, political debate, because there's not people aging or classes, and, You might say something about somebody who other people have in high class in Jamaica that even though it's true they don't want you to say, you know. I'm kind of against that sort of things. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe you get the best out of us, you know. I was just thinking about D Brown, you know. Who's been leopard, a trying to keep the sheep and the shepherd. It's not love separate the sheep and the shepherd from the wool. You understand? A reggae music month in Jamaica, Black History Month in the world, right? In USA
in the
and
US.
in Jamaica, right? Yeah, music is a part of Jamaica. To me, as a person, music just comes naturally. And you see, Dervan, what I'm speaking to the point that in it, to me, Dr. P resigning as PMP leader and still there as MP. Is that a normal in Jamaican politics when leadership change occur on the whether they'll be a PMP?
I haven't studied every situation involving political leaders stepping down and holding the position. I'm not it
The comparable scenario you could see in it. Dervan was Jewish Lord Shearer and Tiaga. Whereas Shearer was their PM and leader of opposition of solution in February 29, 1972. And Busterman was still JLP leader, to set the record correctly. And there was no contest between Shearer and Tiago. We just get up one morning, hear the news on RTR JBC with one of the two stations you were listening that Tiago take over JLP. There was no voting, no nothing in 1974. Because Buster was the leader, Buster had just give up and Tiago took over almost by acclamation. On the PMP, when Norman Mandel resigned, he left an empty seat that he could have stayed on. And similarly, when Michael Mandel resigned in 1992, P.J. Patterson came, Michael Mandelson stayed as MP. East Kingston Margaret Taylor became MP. With P.J. leaving, Mr. Buchanan so became MP in Portland, P.J. seat, and P.J. still actively in Portland. The same similar thing. What Dr. P is doing now is not even like Shearer, because Shearer was not a person who ever opposed anything Tiago chose to do. Like Dr. P, to me, is actively undermining, to me, how I'm seeing things. People don't like it, he said, undermining Mark Gordon and Peter Bunting and Dr. Dayton Jackson and influencing attack against them as a former leader while still being here, whereas no other former president of the PMP has stayed over and the new president PMP whatever in PMP history until Dr. P, which to me is a childish behavior, and Dr. P to me is actually diminishing the integrity. And we got to say it's not showing word when he was giving his speech. I thought it was a farewell speech in Parliament. That's like a man resigned, writing a column. Yeah, and you look at him. He got a whole day. If he was resigning, I'm not saying Dr. P deserve OJ, Dervan. But you think Trump would take an OJ from Bitten or Bitten from Trump? No, why they told them politically active? And you stop throwing word at Bitten, if you are Trump, or Bitten, stop throwing word at Trump if you are Bitten. You get what I'm saying? Coming childish. Like you're preventing somebody else from becoming MP and allowing the man to be his own self. And we have to say that to be. Well, but we expect a high level of maturity as displayed by PJ Portia, Norman Mandy, Michael Mandy, by you.
Could it be that he has been asked to hold on?
He wasn't. The Dr. P don't want Peter Bunting to become MP of his here, and he became MP of Dr. DK.
Now, where would you have gotten that information from?
PJ and resigned.
Where would you have gotten that information from?
Dervan, I've been with Glenn and Company from the start, right? I email writing letters from 1980 to Jamaica from I was a kid. I'm a school talent in Jamaica, like I tell a lot of O-level, CCC. I participate, I read things I don't forget. So,
hold a moment, please.
You're
listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3 o'clock. For hard-to-get parts, call us first. Gold Plus Auto Supplies and Accessories offers low prices on Japanese spare parts, Toyota, Nissan, and much more. Visit our branches at Graceville, Savannah Lamar, McCarthy Street, Montego Bay, and Main Street, Santa Cruz. At Gold Plus, we have your parts. Call 876-955-3052. That's 876-955-3052.
Jesus, Jesus, oh Jesus, Jesus, oh how I love to call your name.
Tune in to Power 106 FM for the longest running religious call-in program on Jamaican radio, The Prayer Line. Join Pastor Errol Hay and his team as they offer spiritual guidance and intercession grounded in biblical doctrine. Hear powerful testimonies from Jamaica and around the world. The Prayer Line, a source of support and inspiration in these trying times. That's The Prayer Line on Power 106 FM, Sundays at 6:30 p.m. Join us.
You shall live, declare the works of the Lord. Amen. You shall be a living testimony. You're on the Lord's side.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4115, 876-922-4112-5. Thanks for holding. I was asking, how do you know what Peter Phillips wants from what he doesn't want, or what Peter Phillips is thinking from what he's not thinking?
The sequences of events that took place.
Which sequence? Which sequence? Let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation. Which sequence?
Dervan?
Which sequence are you referring to?
Yeah, what I'm saying, Dervan, you're saying, oh, I know, so I'm explaining some things to you. Since the election.
No, I don't want you to explain some things to me. I want you to tell us on what basis you have come to certain conclusions.
No, then that's why I'm telling you, the sequence of events. The Dr. Norman on episode when Mark Holding, the new PMP leading opposition leader of Jamaica, appointed him, was to me, and I deduced, organized by Dr. P, who had appointed Norman on. Then you have the challenges to the new PMP president appointment, or who he had preferred as General Secretary and Chairman by people associated with Dr. P that they beat in the contest between Miss Anna and Mark Goldie, which is abnormal in party politics in Jamaica. And to only say you want Dr. Chan for his General Secretary, you get Dr. Chan, you want Bobby Montague for his Chairman, you get Bobby Montague. That's how leader-centric made the political party lead the organization. When you win, it's Westminster style. You get the chance now to shape the thing. You Small had resigned after a couple of years after PJ won because they were with Mr. P against PJ and they said stuff. And DK, before he came back and went to Eastern Over. That is normal part of party change. It's a big thing. It's not a little thing. So you're a part former leader with you respect why you PJ Patterson said, that Dr. P should come join him on the pavilion and don't be demolition doing it. But he diminishing his character, and I esteem him with a person like me and held him. Because I am not looking past what is happening, the sequence of events. The attack and the case of people come from Dr. P constituency. And Dr. P is the one with fish carrying from 2019 Rice campaign. And if you cannot pretend away bad things in the Dervan, you got to deal with it. And it's not normal for
pretend
the
who's
PMP to resign and still be the MP and still trying to undermine those who...
Well, we don't know that. we don't know that. What is evident is that Dr. Peter Phillips is still the Member of Parliament for East Central St. Andrew, notwithstanding the fact that he has stepped away from the position of leader of the People's National Party, or president of the People's National Party. And I'm suggesting to you that clearly that decision of his remaining there for an extended period of time would have to have the blessings of the National Executive Council, the NEC, wouldn't it? Uh-oh. Maybe the credit ran out or he just had enough. Thank you so much for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live. Hello to Audrey Smith in Southampton in England. Welcome. Thank you. Faye Weller, good afternoon. Violet White. Paul in Philadelphia. Thank you very much for joining us. Angela in Toronto, Canada. Good to have you on board. And she's having a running conversation, we can see, with Paul. Running conversation between Paul and Angela. All the best. Let's go to the phone lines once again, 876-922-4112-5. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Good afternoon.
Mr. Malcolm, are you hearing me, sir?
Yes. Are you hearing me?
Yes, Mr. Malcolm, I'm hearing you.
Good to hear from you. It's been a while.
Yeah, man, what's going on?
You tell us. You've called.
First thing, normal, you see, on the Water Commission, Mr. Malcolm, because the aquifers, they have actually calcium in them, in the stone.
The aquifers?
Yeah. So I know, I hear they start calling aquifers, so I don't know when the name has changed. You know, the Water Commission, people call them aquifers, so.
Well, there is something, and I'm not holding it against our people, but there is something about our choice of pronouncing names and words in general. I don't know if it's a Jamaican thing, but we have a way of just latching on to what we find easy to pronounce or what we think we heard, and we repeat it. And no matter how people try to tell us that that is not it, we keep repeating it. But that's, I don't know if it's a Jamaican thing, but we have a thing with names. We call people whatever the person's name is. Invariably, my pronunciation of it will depend on what I have grasped in the moment that I heard the name or read the information or in some other way made the decision that this is how I'm going to pronounce this name or this word. So it doesn't necessarily make it right, but
yes, Mr. Malcolm.
Yes.
And from time to time they come up with all kind of stuff. And
Yes.
they stop calling the roads now. They start to call them corridors, but probably they're all right.
Well, that's another one that we have heard, and we know some of the people who are using that term. But it's a corridor originally is a passage in a building from which a door leads or doors lead into rooms. And then at one stage in Britain, they see a passage along the side of some railway carriages from which doors lead into compartments. And then there's another definition that speaks of a belt of land linking two other areas. So for example, the Middle Passage, for argument's sake. The corridors of power, etc. But the association with the road network, the use is rather limited in that area. Just some people, for whatever reason, started applying the term corridor to the road network. or certain sections of roadways.
Yeah, that's not welcome. First, what I want to tell you about this thing.
Yes.
You know, when you have your kitchen sink and sometimes in the bathroom and all of that, there's a calcium built up from the aquifer in the water.
The aquifer.
Yeah, the aquifer, you know that the stones, they are really calcium, some of the aquifer that they used to make baking sodas and all of that.
Yes.
That built up, that brown built up that you will see in some things in people's home and all of that. Because they just go to people's home very, very regular, so repair stuff.
Yes. Yes, the aquifer is a body of permeable rock
Yeah,
which can contain or transmit groundwater.
exactly.
Yes.
But I'm specifically talking about that building of that brown
buildup.
And my mother thinks this is bleach, you know.
And
I told her the quickest, the best way to not make any build up of that on your kitchen, whether in the bathroom, kitchen,
or the toilet.
It's
in the toilet. Yes, it's in the toilet as well. I've seen that.
Normally, when the toilet is running, if the toilet is spoiled and it's running, you will have that built up. But like in the kitchen sink, when you finish washing plate, you know, wipe the kitchen sink and the pipes and all of that, and that's the problem with the salt, you know.
But isn't that pretty standard? Don't we? There are people who use the kitchen sink and don't clean it up. Don't. I'm just saying, isn't that standard? If you're going to do the dishes and you soap them up, well, you scrape them out, scrape out the waste, get rid of the waste, and you maybe do a sort of a dry washing of the plate first to get whatever morsels of food are left there, and then you soap it up and with a scouring pad or some other cleaning agent, and then you rinse, and then you put the plates in the dish drainer, and from there on, when you're finished doing the dishes, you're supposed to wash the sink.
You know, pack them up in position with on the counter or anywhere there. There were a lot of people that those things. The kitchen, the finish drainer, it's a permanent here. A lot of people create the pots and plates and all of that.
Yeah,
well, there were a lot of persons like that, you know, family or so, you know.
Yes.
But me never call him much to talk about anything much, because
no, that's all right. That's all right. It's always good to just send us a reminder that you're still very much around, still very much here, and still listening.
But I was listening. I was coming from up my youth today, and I heard a caller say it was Jamaica doing the war effort in Britain when they didn't have any money to build this Spitfire plane, and he was telling another host that it was a Jamaican government that sent the £5,000 or so.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
The Gleaner Company. It was the Gleaner Company somewhere downtown here that sent that money. You have ever heard?
Yes, but the money came from the people. There are a lot of people who donate. It's a people.
I didn't get it like that. I think I'm more or less saying
I've read that. Going through the archives, I've read that. I perhaps need to refresh my memory on that. But as far as and it wasn't just once. At different points in England's history, they've benefited from contributions from citizens in Jamaica. British subjects at that time in Jamaica. They were not backward in coming forward when it came to making contributions towards England's war efforts. Jamaica played a part in that over time in more ways than one.
That played that money went to. It is that playing that cost really England to save Germany from invading England, you know. Because remember that they didn't have Germany did not use any plane that can shoot. They just used a bomb rains over London and about the place.
Mm-hmm.
So when Dina comes to with Jamaican citizens, you say, they had made the Spitfire plane to shoot down the German plane.
Yes.
I think the money had gone solely to do that. Well, all right, Mr. Malcolm, take care of yourself. By next time I call you.
All right, thanks for the call. All the best.
All right, Mr. Malcolm.
Take care.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:15.
Jesus, Jesus, oh Jesus, Jesus, oh how I love to call your name.
Tune in to Power 106 FM for the longest running religious calling program on Jamaican radio, The Prayer Line. Join Pastor Errol Hay and his team as they offer spiritual guidance and intercession grounded in biblical doctrine. Hear powerful testimonies from Jamaica and around the world. The Prayer Line, a source of support and inspiration in these trying times. That's The Prayer Line on Power 106 FM, Sundays at 6:30 p.m. Join us.
You shall live, declare the works of the Lord. Amen. You shall be a living testimony here on the Lord's side. Are you ready to stand up and fight it just like soldiers? Many are called, few are chosen. Many are called, few are chosen.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Here's Miss Needham on our WhatsApp line. Good afternoon, Miss Needham.
Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Did you get the number from me, sir?
I gave Althea McKenzie your number, and she says she says thanks, and she will call you.
Okay, Mr. Malcolm. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, sir.
Bye-bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Are you there? Hello? All right, never mind. Try again, please. Lloyd says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan. Good afternoon, Jamaica. Hey, Mr. Dervan, you know what happened to me over the weekend? Some guys in Jamaica called my phone and they were trying to scam me. And it was going on and on all through the weekend, telling me to send them $2,000 on Friday and Saturday. They will tell me that they were on the pier in Jamaica waiting on me to send them $2,000. And then they told me again to send them $1,500. They went right down to $500. So when I found out that they were scammers, I just told them to get off. Mr. Dervan, please, can you give the police their cell phone numbers and let the cops see if they can get any information on the guys and the number for them? All right, so we have the number here. They tell me that they have all these cars on the wharf to clear, and I Googled the name of the pictures on the website that I saw on their pictures of the cars they sent to me. That place is in Mandeville area. I'm going to send you the voicemail, but you can't play it on the radio. Still would like to say hello to Uncle Radcliffe Lewis and to my big sister Anne-Marie Berry. Hi to Barry Pratt. Hello, Daddy Bigger Roy, and to Bubo, or it's Bobo. Also, Staley Paul, Miss Gracie, Rudy, the JUTC bus driver. It's all love right around the clock. And thank you for all your edifying education. And you already know that the grand finale shout out is to you, Mr. Dervan. One love. It's so hard for me to explain everything to you, Mr. Dervan. Thank you very much. We're going to pass on all this information to a member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. We're going to send on this information in just a moment. That's exactly what we will do. Let's just make sure. Let's check this out. All right, we're just trying to get it out of the way right away. Don't want to waste any time here. So here's what we will do. We'll make sure that the contact we're looking for is in fact on this device. Yes, he is. So the next step has to be to forward all of this to him. And that is happening just about now. Highlighting and forwarding right now. Just like that. Because we must, when information of this nature is provided, and we're going to share a story in just a moment with respect to a scammer, actually. So it's quite his timing is quite impeccable for for uh, for him to have shared this information when we have here information on a scammer that is in the news. That's quite something. So here we go. We're going to send this piece first to the police right now. So that, and that first piece is gone. So let's send the others now. The voice notes and the pictures of the vehicles. Voice note number 1, voice note number 2, and the pictures of the vehicles. Sending this information right now. Right. We'll follow up. Thank you very much for the information. Thank you. Let's go now to, right, that story that we wanted. Since you just messaged us about scamming and people trying to scam you, here's a story from Loop News. This one. One woman has been arrested by members of the lottery scam task force in Cambridge, St. James. Reports are that a team of officers swooped down on a property and seized several lead sheets and other lottery scamming paraphernalia. Listen, Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark, please lodge the outstanding sums in the police accounts right away. Something seems to be happening. They need more motivation right now because we're moving from one instance to another of the police making some kind of breakthrough, whether they're finding guns or finding wanted people and charging them for murders, rape, etc. And now lottery scamming. They've been busy. The story is woman held as lotto scam task force carry out raid in St. James. One woman has been arrested by members of the lottery scam task force in Cambridge, St. James. This is the sense we need to get. We need to feel like the police are everywhere. We need to feel them. We know they can't be everywhere, but you get the picture. And that the environment here in Jamaica must become so uncomfortable for those of us who are engaged in lawlessness. The environment must become so uncomfortable that we just give up or give in, or we are taken in, quite frankly. This is what we're talking about. We know it's early days yet. We're holding the applause, but we're saying, my late mother used to say, encouragement sweetens labor. Let us continue to give the members of the constabulary and the JDF all the support they need in order to crack more cases, as the expression goes. So one woman has been arrested by members of the lottery scam task force in Cambridge, St. James. Reports are that a team of officers swooped down on a property and seized several lead sheets. Lead sheets, that's information on people's credit card information, sometimes their addresses, their telephone number, their contact details, other personal information, etc. So that a team of officers reportedly swooped down on a property and seized several lead sheets and other lottery scamming paraphernalia during the operation. A team of officers is still on location, and there's more information to follow. Here's another word that we like to use from time to time, paraphernalia. It is, when the word is used, we're talking about equipment, stuff, things, apparatus, implements, tools, utensils, appliances. We could be talking about a range of things when we use the word paraphernalia. Paraphernalia. That's Paraphernalia. Paraphernalia. So whenever you hear that word being used, just think of things, tools, implements, utensils, whatever. Right. So that's that story from Loop News. So the police are on the job. They're doing overtime. Here's a picture of the female who has been, there's a video actually. Her face is not being shown, but the footage is showing her from behind. And we're also seeing footage of, looks like police. Oh, it's the same. Hold on. Is this the one with the guns? Hold on. Which one is this? It's just, they're showing police on the job, basically, going through bags with sawdust and going through a cane field. Well, not a cane field. What am I saying? This looks more like a banana plantation that they're going through right now. So this is, work is being done. This was posted by Loop News 46 minutes ago. Again, we're going to hold the applause and instead just encourage the law-abiding men and women of the constabulary and the army. Just give them some encouragement, because people talk about the thing turn up. Looks like the police are turning it up and turning it on and turning it up. Again, we're holding the applause, and we're hoping that this is a trend that will spread over an extensive period, not just a little blip. It needs to continue. People are wondering, they must be wondering now, who is next? And I wonder if anybody busts upon me. That kind of thing. That's the idea. That's the idea. Let's see now some of the other, where are we? Oh, we have some messages to clear. We're managing multiple devices and platforms here. Bear with us, please. Let's go on. Let's go to Facebook Live. Paul is still there from Philadelphia. Ambleton Ray says, greetings, brother man Dervan. Trust in your family and you are doing great. Medea for the education, inspiration, and information. Keep on keeping on. Ambleton Ray, Horton Grove, Hanover. Thank you very much. Good afternoon to the people of Horton Grove in Hanover, especially Ambleton Ray. Lady D. Denise Gomez says, great seeing you, Dervan Malcolm. It's a rainy day here in New York. Stay dry, please, Lady D. Denise Gomez in New York. All the best. And Angela continues her running conversation with Paul. She says, pardon my manners. Good afternoon, all. Hey, we shouldn't take that for granted, you know. Every day, and I don't go searching for it, but I find myself in certain places where Jamaicans don't forget to say good morning and good afternoon and good evening and good night. We are, as we say in Jamaican terms, we are genuinely manners-able people here in Jamaica. Genuinely manners-able people. And that's something we must cherish, that we shouldn't allow that spirit to die. One moment, please.
Importers, provide proper invoices for customs when presenting goods for examination. This could prevent delays during clearance. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is 3:30.
At Royal Medical Hospital, Clinic and Imaging Center, their highly skilled team is equipped to provide quality health care at an affordable price. General surgery, orthopedics, dermatology, general radiology, maternity care and delivery care, urology, and more. 10 Lewis Street, Savannah Lamar, Westmoreland. 876-955-3154. Royal Medical Clinic and Hospital, providing quality health care at an affordable price.
Under the Law helps you to know your rights and how the laws of Jamaica can help you defend those rights. We've been doing it for 50 years. That's right. Join us on Thursdays at 6:45 and 8:55 a.m. and at 4 and at 9:55 p.m. Compliments of the Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities. Educating, advocating, empowering. Under the Law, Thursdays on Power 106 FM.
Are you ready to stand up and fight the right revolution? Are you ready to stand up and fight it just like soldiers? Maybe I'm called, you are chosen.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story. Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Hello to Nigel McCrae. He says, you're right, in response to something I said. Not sure what that was. Steve in Toronto, Canada, says, Dervan Malcolm, please say hello to my aunt, Miss Emma Wellington. Where did the message go? Here it is. Miss Emma Wellington in Pembroke Hall, wishing her a great day. We join you in conveying greetings to your aunt, Miss Emma Wellington. And that word, listeners, spelled A-U-N-T. It's not aunt. It's never pronounced aunt unless you're speaking another language. If you're speaking English, A-U-N-T is pronounced aunt. Aunt. A-U-N-T, aunt, not aunt. Aunt. Yes, that's the nature of the English language. Right. And let's go to Maya Fides saying, Mr. Malcolm, good day, watching you. Good afternoon, Maya Fides. Good to see you online, in a manner of speaking. Nigel McCrae says, only one woman, where is the rest of them? In response to the story, the scamming story. Well, maybe that one will lead them to the others, which is why I've never been a fan of killing people, no matter how bad they are, unless, of course, you would imagine the disclaimer being that if the circumstances require the response of the police is commensurate with the in terms of proportionality with the situation, then so be it, because they have to protect themselves and protect the rest of us, and therefore we can countenance that. But essentially, we want to ensure that we, as much as possible, preserve life, because who knows, that person who was wanted, if we were able to bring in that person, we maybe could end up bringing in 3, 4, 5, 15, 50 more. You get the picture. So it's not always ideal. We can try to disable them, maybe shoot them in the leg, so to speak. Again, all in keeping with the lawful, what the law provides for in pursuit of fugitives, alleged or otherwise. Right, let's leave that there for the time being. Velta Wilson says enough is enough. Law-abiding Jamaicans need a break from this lawlessness and criminality that have taken over our island. Thank you for your message, Velta Wilson. Bernard Farquharson says, true, Dervan, blessings always. Again, in response to something I said, I'm not sure, I've said a lot. Bernard Farquharson again says, snowing here in Detroit, Michigan. Well, you stay warm in snowy Detroit, Michigan, and try and be as safe as possible. All the very best to you. Keep safe in snowy Detroit, Michigan. Thank you for the message, and thank you for making it both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. Let's go across to YouTube and see some of the messages. Uh, uh, let's see. This one says, from Booker T last, police are working. Well done to all. Donovan Campbell says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm and listeners. Good afternoon, Donovan. Kareen Campbell says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Thank you for the information you share with us each day. You're welcome, Kareen. Donovan says, I want to commend the police and the citizens who are assisting in the finding of these guns. Keats Sampson says, Mr. Malcolm, on the issue of language, I want to ask you this. Just ask. Anyway, many media houses, including BBC, has a house style, meaning language policy. I noticed with Radio Jamaica that some of your journalists, words like anti with the American pronunciation, which would be anti-America, yes, while some use the traditional British pronunciation, which is also the standard Jamaican pronunciation. Why does Radio Jamaica allow this variation? I have no idea. I'm not that close to the operation. I come in and I work from 2 to 5 Monday to Friday. I usually, yes, and then I go home, all things being equal. And on a Saturday, I'm here from 6 to 9. So I don't have any insights in that regard. However, I obviously have the ears of our programs manager and general manager for broadcast services, which includes radio, etc. And I'll share your concern or question. But you are perfectly correct. Years ago, and it's been a while now, I downloaded the BBC Style Guide. The BBC Style Guide. That's the guide that is used. And by the way, the BBC Style Guide starts off by reminding those of us who know, enlightening those of us who don't, what is a noun, what is a verb, what is an adverb, what is an adjective. That's how the BBC Style Guide starts. It takes nothing for granted. It lays it out. And so for years ago, I found that, and that was golden for me because I'm a big fan of BBC. I believe BBC is the standard when it comes to radio broadcasting, the BBC. And so I do have that copy. I downloaded it years ago, and I still have it. I'm sure by now they have updated it. I perhaps need to check. But the style guide. So the style guide, listeners, it determines whether your presenters, whether news presenters or otherwise, whether they say Caribbean as opposed to Caribbean, Caribbean as opposed to Caribbean. That's just one example. And there are other words. So thank you very much, Keats Sampson, for your pronouncement on these matters. Ricardo says, great try by the Reggae Boys again, and they will have to wait another long while. So it is. We know in Jamaica that if we want good, we know how to run. Don't we? Yeah. There's a poem that just came into my head, which I learned some years ago. That line was in it as well. Oh gosh. Yeah. All right. Another time we share that one with you. Just came to me. All right. Let's go on. Shall we give you a bit of history? But I tell you, man, the stories are coming in pretty fast. The general news stories, yeah, coming in very fast. Here's for what it's worth. For what it's worth, the Britain will on Sunday, and the monarchy still enjoys a lot of support here in Jamaica. Whatever some of us says, apparently the monarchy is still held in high esteem. But anyway, Britain will on Sunday salute the 70th anniversary of Queen Elizabeth II ascending the throne. So Sunday is what date again? Is that the 5th or the 4th? The 6th. Sunday the 6th, which is also the anniversary of the birth of the Honorable Robert Nesta Marley, OM. It's also the anniversary of the birth of the great Una Marson, who was the first Black voice on BBC Radio. She's originally from St. Elizabeth, right here in Jamaica. We hope we get an opportunity to share that information with you again. For those who have heard it before, if you haven't, we'll try and pull that information a little closer to Sunday, which could be Saturday or Monday. Right, so Britain will on Sunday salute the 70th anniversary of Queen Elizabeth II ascending the throne. But as the monarch celebrates another landmark, just how will her record-breaking reign be remembered? To some commentators, her reign has been a golden age, reminiscent of that of her namesake, Elizabeth I, who ruled over England 400 years ago in what is considered one of the country's greatest periods. And they talk about Elizabethan architecture and so on and so forth. Yes. Others say the 95-year-old's legacy. So she's been reigning from age 25. She has been reigning. Yes. Others say the 95-year-old's legacy is much less dramatic, but nonetheless remarkable, ensuring the monarchy has survived in a time of huge social and economic upheaval. And Elizabeth ascended the throne aged 25 on February 6, 1952, on the death of her father, George VI. And remember, what is now National Heroes Park used to be called George VI Park, and they used to have bicycle races in that area, among other things, and that it's in that region that we held that exhibition, that famous Jamaican exhibition of 18, what year was that again? 1851, I think, that great exhibition held in the vicinity of Woolmer's Boys, what is now Woolmer's Boys. How did we get there? Let's get back to the script. So Elizabeth ascended the throne aged 25 on the 6th of February 1952 on the death of her father, George VI, inheriting dominion over a Britain emerging from the ravages of World War II when rationing was still in place and Winston Churchill was prime minister, as well as other nations spread across the globe. Since then, presidents, popes, and prime ministers have come and gone. The Soviet Union has collapsed, and Britain's own once mighty empire has dissipated, replaced by a commonwealth of 54 nations, which Elizabeth was instrumental in creating, and whose success many regard as her greatest achievement. Elizabeth's reign has often been compared, sometimes unflatteringly, to that of her namesake, whose 44 years on the throne in the 16th century were regarded as England's golden age, when the economy grew, the country's influence expanded, and William Shakespeare and other writers flourished. What a thing. You can read more. That is from Reuters, Reuters news agency. A story by Michael Holden, not Holding, Holden, Holden, and Sarah Mills.
Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:45. It continues to be all smiles at Wellington Dental. We offer dental care for the entire family, including cleaning, filling, whitening, and other dental services. There's wheelchair access and an exciting play area for the children. Wellington Dental, 57 Wellington Street, Spanish Town. Telephone 876-984-5482 or 876-749-3515.
The Auto World.
It's the only program on Jamaican radio dedicated to the world of automobile. It's the Auto World with Shelley and McLagan. Get news and reviews relating to vehicles and automotive technology. Learn the ins and outs of mechanical operation. Find out about the various stakeholders in the local and international automotive sectors. From auto finance to road safety to motorcycles, the Auto World is your one-stop shop for everything auto. That's the Auto World with Shelley and McLagan. Weekdays at 5:15 p.m. on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
This is Miss P earlier. I enjoy
Are you ready to stand up and fight the right revolution? Are you ready to stand up and fight it just like soldiers? Many are called, few are chosen.
My favorite line in this recording: many are called, few are chosen. Many are called, few are chosen, from the Bible. Let's continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story. Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. We have a voice note, which we're going to play in just a moment. Here we go.
Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. This is Miss P from Blue Owl, Montpelier. I enjoy your program. Congrats to the police and the commissioner. Good work. I am loving it. We are tired of the crime, Mr. Malcolm. Love your show. Have a good evening. Bye.
Thank you very much, Miss P from, did you say Blue Hole? I think that's the name of the place. Yes. Thank you very much for your message. And here's Errol in Spanish Town. Errol says, hi, Dervan, good day. Could you tell me what fear of getting old? Yeah, help me there. You're asking, what could you tell me what fear of getting old? Are you asking what is the fear of getting old called? Is that it? It's called gerascophobia. Gerascophobia. Those big words, you hit them in the middle. So you notice the emphasis there is cophobia. That's in the middle, right in the middle of the word. Gerascophobia. That is derived from the Greek, the geraso, which is a phrase that means I am getting old. So if that's the question you're asking, Errol in Spanish Town, the fear of getting old is gerascophobia. Gerascophobia. And then now another part of Errol's message. He says, "It is still puzzling to me, why would beautiful young lady commit suicide? Someone you fall in love instantly. Why?" I'm not sure. Errol, are you referring to the Miss America who sadly uh, jumped to her death? It's I think we talked about it when it happened, and what we said is that we shouldn't let down our guard. We need to continue to be vigilant in terms of identifying when our family members, friends, colleagues, neighbors are a little off, just noticing that something is not right with them. They're not their usual selves. Once we detect that, we want to respectfully, tactfully, and smartly engage them in conversation. Find out, go beyond that, "I'm fine," or "I'm okay," or "I'm all right," because we sometimes use those expressions as masking agents to mask how we really feel and what we're really going through. So we want to start there and then help them to understand what options are open to them. Because these are tough times, and we've been saying this for years, but there are still opportunities. Opportunities abound, and we have to just help each other. Help the weak. Who did I learn this from now? A centenarian, Miss from, oh geez, centenarian from Clarendon. She lived until 100 plus, I think 102 or 104. Cicely Morris. That's the name I was trying to remember. Cicely Morris. She taught me a gem years ago when I interviewed her. She said, "Help the weak if you're strong. Help the old if you're young. Keep a guard upon your tongue and own a fault if you're wrong. Help the weak if you're strong. Help the old if you're young. Keep a guard upon your tongue and own a fault if you're wrong." That one just came into my head. So let us help those we can while we can, because it's not easy. Some of us are coping, some of us are more resilient than others, and the world needs more of us to look out for the rest of us. Norman Hines in St. Thomas, good afternoon to you. How are you? Good to have you on board. Thank you very much. Bernard Farquharson says, "Okay, radio family, I listen to the program later after work. Stay safe, everyone. Keep up the great work, Mr. Dervan." You're very kind, Bernard Farquharson. Thank you very much for choosing both sides of the story here on Poro 106 FM. Alex Christian, good afternoon to you. Just in case you thought I forgot, no, I did not. You sent us a reminder as well that today is Princess Yassan's birthday. Happy birthday to Princess Yassan, Yassan. Princess Yassan, happy birthday to you. And the warm birthday greeting is coming from Alex Christian. Alex Christian is saying, happy birthday to Princess Yassan. We hope you heard, Alex, and we hope Princess Yassan heard as well. All the best. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number. 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. Let's see if we can share a bit of history before we continue. Johannes Gutenberg died on this day in 1468. And some people interchangeably use the pronunciations Johannes and Johann. But Johannes Gutenberg is often called the inventor of printing, but that is not true. What he actually did was to develop the first method of using what's described as movable type, TYPE, and the printing press. So what he did was to develop the first method of using movable type and the printing press in such a way that a large variety of written material could be printed with speed and accuracy. Gutenberg's overall, and that's Gutenberg, Gutenberg's overall contribution was far greater than any of his individual inventions or improvements. He is important principally because he combined all the elements of printing into an effective system of production. There was some excitement in Jamaica on this day in 1916. What happened? 1916, aviator Fred Ducour, common D-E, capital K, common O-R, Fred Ducour. Aviator Fred Ducour gave a special exhibition about 2:30 p.m. on this day in 1916. Fred Ducour, who had been giving a series of flights in Jamaica, packed his big war airplane for shipment to Paradise Pen, Westmoreland, ahead of his exhibition. Let's go to 1925. After appealing his sentence and losing that appeal, Marcus Garvey was imprisoned in an Atlanta jail on this day in 1925. The United States Attorney General's office had warned Garvey that it was illegal to sell shares by post for a company that had not yet been properly incorporated. Garvey ignored the warnings and ran afoul of the law. Eventually, in January 1922, he and 3 other company officials were indicted on charges of commercial fraud. The charges noted that the company had knowingly used fraudulent representations and deceptive artifices to sell stocks through the mail and had advertised and sold space on a mythical vessel. Garvey was indicted on 12 counts, fined $1,000, held without bail for 3 months, and after an unsuccessful appeal, was sentenced to a term of 5 years in an Atlanta jail. The 3 other men referred to as conspirators were not charged, and there's more than a feeling that he was targeted. He was deliberately targeted because of how he was mobilizing Black people in America. And they're Garveyites and Jamaicans and non-Jamaicans alike all over the world are still seeking exoneration for Garvey. And there's one of the latest or most recent petitions. I'm not sure what the level of success has been like. Haven't seen an update in that regard, but we'll check on that and find out. We'll come back to this perhaps a little later on. Let's go to the phone lines. 876-922. Oops, let's break first. Let's take the break and come back with more on both sides of the story. Good afternoon. One moment, please.
At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4 o'clock.
Under the law. Know your rights and how the laws of Jamaica can help you defend those rights. Under the law.
Brought to you today by the Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities. Educating, advocating, empowering.
Here are some interesting facts under the Disabilities Act.
Fact: persons with disabilities have a right to education.
A right to proper health care.
Fact: we have a right to housing and to be able to enter premises.
A right to public transportation that we can enter on our own.
And a right to take part in political and public life.
Enough more things in the Act. Make a start and play your part. Respect the ability of each person with a disability and learn all the facts on the Act.
Visit jcpdja.com.
Come in. Good afternoon, Mr. Wilson. I'm Mr. Nibson Roger. Roger, last time I saw you, you were yay high. I'm not here for pleasantries today, though, sir. You terminated my father after 35 years with the company. Because he had a stroke, Roger. His brain is still good. He knows the job inside out. Now, with one side paralyzed, he can hardly walk, and I would have to retrain him. I can't afford that. He's 62. It will take over a year. And how many more years could we get from him? He got an excellent retirement package, and the company was fair. That sounds simple to you, but Daddy not taking it very well. You can make arrangements for him to keep his job. The burden not so excessive for your company to put in a winding ramp or an elevator, or even fix up an office downstairs. So putting a winding ramp or an elevator to keep him here would have been an excessive burden on the company, Roger. And this building is too old to put in that. It makes better business sense to hire a new person to take over. You may have to prove that to the tribunal, Mr. Wilson.
The Disabilities Act was intended to prevent or prohibit discrimination against persons with disabilities. Justify a claim of disproportionate and undue burden. The considerations include the nature of the benefit likely to accrue to, or the detriment likely to be suffered by the company, the effect of the disability on a person concerned, the financial circumstances of the company claiming disproportionate or undue burden, or the estimated amount of expenditure or other allocation of resources required by the company, and whether it is reasonably proportionate to the benefits it is likely to get from the exercise. That's how it is under the law.
Brought to you today by the Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities. Educating, advocating, empowering.
Join us Wednesdays and Thursdays at 6:45 and 8:55 a.m. and at 4 and 9:55 p.m. on Power 106 FM for Under the Law.
Jesus, oh Jesus, oh how I love to call your name.
Tune in to Power 106 FM for the longest running religious call-in program on Jamaican radio, The Prayer Line. Join Pastor Errol Hay and his team as they offer spiritual guidance and intercession grounded in biblical doctrine. Hear powerful testimonies from Jamaica and around the world. The Prayer Line, a source of support and inspiration in these trying times. That's The Prayer Line on Power 106 FM, Sundays at 6:30 p.m. Join us.
You shall live, declare the works of the Lord. Amen. You shall be a living testimony. You're on the Lord's side.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 4:04. ¿Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4:04. 现在地点了4点04分. 4 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you had a checkup lately? If not, now is a good time. Let's not wait till we get sick to get a checkup. How about that? Checking in with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. To the phone lines once again, 876-922-4112-5. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Samuel. How are you doing?
I am giving thanks for life. And you?
Okay. Yes, I'm doing the same thing. All right, I have 2 points here I'm raising it. One is, when I say the director of investigation, what role that person play?
Director of investigation? Where?
Yeah, I think I hear in the news sometimes some government agency, some issue there, and them say the director of investigation involved.
No, you have to be more specific. That could be anywhere.
I think some have to do with some funds couldn't get accounted for and them getting involved.
That could be any that could be any organization, anywhere, anytime. You're
with them call director of investigation. What they should have them do? Sitting there on cases that they're doing heard of in years, they could bring it up back to know what's going on.
Oh, you're calling for the establishment of a position called Director of Investigation?
I think they have it there, but that's why I asked what role they play.
Director of Investigation in which organization?
All right, next time when I get more information, I'll call you back. I don't want to.
I suggest that you acquire a little notepad with a pen, and when you hear these things, write them down. Write down the information, because we, as reliable as we think our memory is, it makes a difference when we write it down.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Next point is.
Yes.
I think yesterday I was listening to you giving some rundown and some information pertaining to the bank. And you said instead of using the regular savings account, you can use it to pay a bill, so you can save in the checking account. I think you say you would get more interest, but you think
those weren't my words. Those weren't my words. I was reading a message, a suggestion from a listener.
Okay. Well, my point is because my granny told me years ago, a general cannot general a general, you know. So if that person is using his checking account to save him money, to get more interest and pay the bill with the other one, I guess the bank won't turn them attention to that.
No, but why would you have to use the word general? Where's the generalship in that?
No, when I say general, that person use it to avoid less problem with the bank. So the bank would, to me, they would turn them attention to that. And every minute the bank come up with something.
Well, you are entitled to let your imagination take you wherever. But yeah, we hear you. We hear you.
Okay. My imagination run wild in me there.
I'm just saying you're entitled to your imagination taking you wherever. If you are seeing things that are not there yet, then maybe, who knows, it will take some time for us to determine whether you're a soothsayer or a prognosticator of high repute, meaning one who can project what's going to happen next.
So the next time I call the potential that they're going to say, you know, say it right.
I don't have a problem with yielding to people. I'm always the first when I'm wrong to say I'm wrong, and always the first. But when I'm right, I learn to humble myself. Don't go beating your chest when you're right. You just let the truth speak for itself.
All right, boss. Thank you very much.
Thanks for the call. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Are you there?
Yes, I am here, but
It just had to be Rascava. With Rascava, we need to make an appeal for somebody to buy a phone for Rascava? Me? Well, I'm sure. I mean, we're putting it out there. Rascava needs a phone. It doesn't need to be an iPhone. Where they reach now? Because I'm still at 10, 13. It doesn't have to be an iPhone 13 or a Samsung. Where's Samsung now? Wherever they are, but just a phone that works better than the one that he has right now. So anybody out there who would like to present Rascava with a gift of a phone, please let us know. We'll be happy to preside over the presentation. That's like the TV, the infomercial. Two is better than too many. It says, Bev Brown, I'm Johnson now, and something. Look what I come to. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Your tolerance is really sharp to deal with it because I'm gonna know what's doing this phone. They put it on speaker, it's the same thing. They take you off, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
But for ones who probably wondering what the outcome of today's hearing in the court, the Queen and Fingers case, it was called up and put off until June the 15th again.
Oh, thank you. That's new information. The information we had, which we shared with our listeners maybe about an hour or so ago, that information didn't have the details that you shared a short while ago. Let's tell you what that information said. It said, and this is from the Gleaners online platform, DPP says ruling in Nzinga King's locks cutting case 95% complete. And it goes on to say that according to the Director of Public Prosecutions, Paula Llewellyn, her office is only awaiting the finding of a forensic examination it has requested through the Independent Commission of Investigations, INDICOM. Ms. Llewellyn said INDICOM has made the request of the Government Forensic Laboratory. She said once the report is received, the legal opinion will be completed in a day or two, and she will recommend that it be made public. So that's the information we got, but we didn't just firm up what you said now about the time, about the next court date.
Right. So that forensic test is to prove whether the locks belong to her or not.
It doesn't say. It just says that her office is only awaiting the findings of a forensic examination that it has requested through the Independent Commission. It would be a fair, what do you call it now, deduction, a fair deduction, but we don't know. It doesn't specify, so we'll still be speculating anyway. But one would, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
What's the meaning of a forensic inspection?
Forensic suggests going through something in a most detailed way. One of my favorite words is meticulous, in a meticulous way. So you don't miss anything, because you want to come to a conclusion that is impregnable, a conclusion that cannot be disputed, or you can try, but you're not going to win. So it's and they employ scientific methods. They're not into guess and spell. The methods that they use are scientific methods and techniques, which are usually associated with the investigation of crime.
As I have said earlier this morning to the interviewer from TVK, to the police commissioner, that the only two questions that I think was necessary to be asked is, did the girl go into the police custody at the courthouse with her locks? And when she was leaving the police custody at the courthouse, did she come out with her locks on? I don't know.
Those are pertinent questions. One moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:50.
Waiting on your receivables, waiting to purchase raw materials to fulfill your next order, waiting to get paid for goods already sold. 60 days, 90 days, invoices way past due. What if you could be insured for up to 85% of your domestic and foreign receivables? So that if you don't get paid on time, your biggest priority, your business, will not have to wait. Trade credit insurance. Insurance worth having. Credit without waiting. Exim Bank. By helping businesses, we save lives and livelihood.
Becky is a deal hunter. She flips through the newspapers every day for great deals on products and services. Wow, I saw the same deal online.
Really? Where?
I found it on G-Commerce.
G-Commerce? What's that?
It's an online site for deals. Here, have a look.
Wow! These are deals that I have just found in the newspaper, plus others I haven't seen before.
Yep. Best of all, you can make the purchases right here on the site and have it either picked up or delivered right to your door.
That's great! Where do I sign up?
Go to gcommerceja.com to sign up and start clicking for the deals. gcommerceja.com, where the best deals are found.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 4:16. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4:16. 现在TDN 了4点16分. 16 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you done your homework yet? If not, now's a good time. Good afternoon to all the schoolers listening to us, all the students from the early childhood level to the secondary level. Trust you had a productive day of learning today. Hope you also managed to get in some physical activity, just as important as mental activity. As we always say, young people, socialization makes you educable. Education makes you trainable. Training makes you employable. And the right attitude makes you successful. Homework time, young people, as we continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, man,
yes, there you are, Rascava, yes.
Yeah, so that is that as we move on.
Mm-hmm.
What's the great importance and difference between Black Story Month and Reggae Month, as it's now called?
What's the difference between the two events?
Yeah. Why one is given up for the other?
Given up?
Getting rid of.
Well, who says? I don't know. Well, in America, what we know is that the celebration of Black History Month, as February as Black History Month, originated in America. And there are some other countries, some other places, or some people in the world have taken that on. And so you have, it's not universal. It's not universally done, but that Black History Month, the month of February being designated Black History Month, is an American thing. The month of February being designated Reggae Month is a Jamaican thing.
Okay, I thought you would have said that. So I have always echoed. We start plan for last year for Mr. Val's Day coming up the 4th day.
For who? For what day? Oh, Valentine's Day. Oh.
Right. Which is not our day. Mr. Val, who was a pug, write a love letter to his lover and posted it and it take on wings and fly, ended up in Jamaica. Which, although some of the poetry guys can never get one in the stars, they got their deal. But, you know, that's the only thing I give thanks for. And no woman, then I get a little gift, then I get a little love verse, and nothing till that day. So for that, I said it has just a little value. However, the Black Story Month should be used to teach the children all the black inventors and their inventions, that they can feel proud of themselves. I never even know that the light bulb in my house, the switch, the filament, the stoplight was created by blacks, and they're the numerous number of things. The first heart surgeon, Imhotep, the father of medicine. He's a black man, was a black man. Reggae has caused so much hurt into families because of the lyrics that added to that music, that implore and force and urge people to behave certain kind of way. And we are giving that so much energy in let us use of that teachable moment to empower our youth to say you can come and invent great things that your name can be mentioned. Virgin me vexed.
Who are you vexed with?
The people who come up with it and who take it and run with it.
You don't think they're doing enough?
They should not change Black Story Month for no Reggae Month.
Oh, I see what you mean. Separate them.
If they want to celebrate reggae every month a Reggae Month, they like every month a Black Story Month. But don't give one energy and nobody saying anything about Black Story Month.
Oh.
Don't do that because you're
well, as I said, I don't know what happens in America during the month of February, but Black History Month is an American creation. February as Black History Month is an American creation. In the UK, their observance of Black History Month is, I believe, in October.
Started by who? A black man or a white man?
I don't remember who started the one in England or the USA for that matter. But I know that they generally observe Black History Month in October.
Started by a black man. So
that wouldn't be surprising.
Wherever they have to be, it relates to us wherever we have to be also. So Mr. Valdez does not have anything to relate to us. When we are alright, love letter man, we say, if I was a cabbage, the leaves I'll give to others, the heart I will give to you.
What? Lyrics, Raskava. No, but seriously though, I get the point you're making. It's just that, there's the world is quite liberal, and there are those who choose freely to religiously hold to the tenets of Black power and Black liberation and Black empowerment and all of those things. There are those who embrace all comers, everybody, and the empowerment of everybody, and long life and good health to everybody. People take on different positions, but we can't erase our color. Those of us who are Black, we can't erase our color. Although some of us have been trying with cake soap and toothpaste and all these things to erase our Blackness.
Kind of chemicals and stuff. Wanted to look like the white woman, and the white woman want to look like that.
There you go. Thanks for the call, and thanks for the update on the court case. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Randy Williams says, just to educate that listener, my checking account in link is linked to my debit card. So that's why I keep a checking account. It's not to hide from anything. And that's in reference to the caller from Florida a short while ago or earlier. Thank you very much, Randy, for that clarification. Mikey Jarrett is in Brooklyn, New York, greeting us. He says, good afternoon, blessings and blessed love, Dervan Malcolm from Brooklyn, New York. Blessings to you, Mikey Jarrett, and our fellow Jamaicans in Brooklyn, New York. Nicola in Central Jamaica. Good afternoon to you, and trust that all is well with you and the family. Jeannie Chambers says, hi, teacher. Good afternoon, Jeannie Chambers. Thank you very much for making it both sides of the story. Dr. Renee Zazu Williamson is greeting us from London. Welcome, Dr. Renee Zazu Williamson in London. And all the very best to you. Some other messages. Let's go to the phone lines again. 876-922-4112-5. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm.
Good afternoon. Welcome.
Yes, thank you. One of the things that I have been talking about over the years, even when Alan Rickard used to have the program on.
Life wouldn't be the same without the sugar cane.
Very much.
Yes.
And I keep pointing out, even I wrote a WhatsApp message to Mr. Shaw about it also, where the canes are so tiny. And I spoke to Mr. Aldi also. So these canes are so tiny. What percent of sugar can we get per hectare? I remember back in the 70s to the 80s when they used to change the cane seedlings because of different problems. Some were dealing with disease, and it wasn't viable then. So they would change a couple of times in order to get better quality cane that can yield more sugar. And I have not been seeing this happening, and this is one of the reasons why I believe the sugar industry failed. Because if you have it, because I travel all over the country, and if you have this little tiny cane, how much can you get out of it? How much sugar can come from that? And nobody was willing to tackle that issue. And until we look at it and say, well, we need to have varieties that can give more yield per hectare, then we can see something substantial. And I wrote to Mr. Shaw saying that what I would have liked to see the government do is to get one of the private companies to run a lottery for them, because people like to spend money on these things. Part of that money will go to research and development.
But isn't there a sugar industry research institute, SIRI, which I believe is based in Mandeville, Manchester?
But I don't see them doing any work, sir, because if they were doing work substantial.
And hold on, sorry to cut you. There is also the Sugar Technologists Association, a professional group, and they would normally have a conference every year. I think it's a Sugar Technologists or something to that effect. But again, I would imagine, if in line with what you have said already, you don't think they've been effective.
I don't think so. When you look at it's just like you working on at the end of the week, you cannot meet your bills or your demands. Then you're going to look at am I going to change it because the other kids can pay me more? Or am I going to have a second job? Or am I going to do some investment on the side? So if the sugar not working out for us and we see this cane so not cannot yield per hectare what we want, we will fail. And I think they should be smart enough to realize that, sir.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something that bothers me. I spoke to so many people. I wrote to even the minister at the time, Brother Clark, and nothing was done.
Yeah, well.
So we have to look at ways to become more efficient. Because if we're not looking from that perspective, we're always going to fall by the wayside. We have to cut costs where it's necessary, but at the same time increase productivity.
Mm-hmm.
And it is very heartbreaking as a person who grew up in the sugar industry, because my father used to plant sugar cane, so do my grandma. And I know it to a certain level, and I understood it very well. And when I see because of these kind of behavior, it goes down, it hurts. Because I love Jamaica and I want to see us excel. And we have to stop fooling around and come and understood that we have to be positive realistic and move forward in program that can help and to move us forward. Because at the end of the day, when you look at it, that you cannot get the amount of sugar you want. And you're going to look at all sorts of reasons why, when the reasons is right in front of your eyes.
One moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:30.
The Auto World.
It's the only program on Jamaican radio dedicated to the world of automobile. It's the Auto World with Shelley and McLagan. Get news and reviews relating to vehicles and automotive technology. Learn the ins and outs of mechanical operation. Find out about the various stakeholders in the local and international automotive sectors. From auto finance to road safety to motorcycles, the Auto World is your one-stop shop for everything auto. That's the Auto World with Shelley and McLagan. Weekdays at 5:15 p.m. on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
Ready to stand up and fight the right revolution? Are you ready to stand up and fight it just like soldiers? Baby, I'm called, you are chosen. Baby, I'm called, you are chosen.
Que hora es en español? Son las 5:29. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 5:29. 现在几点了？5点29分。29 minutes to 5 o'clock. 29 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Do you know where your children are? Are they where they're supposed to be? Doing what they're supposed to be doing? It's a good time to check up on the children. A good time for us to continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Yes,
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, thanks for holding.
My pleasure. I travel sometimes from Portland, where I live now, into Kingston to St. Thomas. And when you go through the Golden Spring area, you can see some poor quality canes. And, having the knowledge of what it's supposed to be, I find it depressing. And therefore, this is constantly bringing down the value and the level of sugar that we're supposed to gain down. Because if you have the right cane, quality cane that can give you the yield for next year, you'll be in a better stand.
Mm-hmm.
I travel all over Westmoreland, a few places in Clarendon, St. Catherine. I've seen it, and and the question I ask, these guys who are selling cane as a way of life, they have better quality cane selling to the public. So why can't these guys do the research and get the job done, So as obviously the thing about it, we need to move Jamaica forward, and by talking not going to put us there. We have to have the work behind.
True. Agreed. And we thank you for your advocacy this afternoon. We're just trying to keep the subject of the state of the cane. I know I would hear Alan Rickards making reference to the, what they call it, the PCS, PC something of the cane. I don't remember the term.
Can't remember the moment.
But just to, in other words, how much cane, I think it's the same thing you're talking about. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And apparently there from what you're saying, there's been no significant move in that regard.
Not at all, because I constantly travel around the country. Because I'm originally from Westmoreland, and I grew up right beside the sugar factory.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen a lot.
Yeah.
Then plus my parents was in it, so I've seen a lot. I don't think you would ever know the day, sir, when people used to have mule and cat dragging cane to the cane station.
Is that mule and cart like the dray?
Yeah, like you have the three mules and a cart behind.
Oh.
That was a big thing in West
Yes.
They turned to truck now, you know. And so I grew up in those era. And then we used to have good result from quality cane per hectare. But that is totally gone down the drain, you know.
Oh dear.
Yes, I'm looking for a better Jamaica.
Well,
Thank you, sir.
well, thank you too. I hope you have the ears of, I don't know. As I said, there's a the Sugar Industry Research Institute, SIRI, and there's the Jamaica Association of Sugar Technologists. I well, depending on your time and schedule, in terms of sharing this information with them or bringing it to their attention or reminding them of it, it wouldn't hurt.
Well, I agree, sir. And this morning I had a very candid discussion with the Scientific Research Council, and I'm totally impressed with them, you know.
Oh yes, they always do good work.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But I give them a challenge, so I'm waiting for a call from them to let it come true.
Well, let's see how that goes.
Yes.
Thanks. Thank you.
Have a blessed evening.
You too. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. What is this now? Jamaica Observer is reporting American tourist Antilia. Let me see. Antielia. Is it Antielia or Antielia? I don't know who this is, but she's an American tourist. Antielia Sterling is refuting reports that she had gone missing in Jamaica along with a car she rented late last year, claiming that she was in constant contact with a rental car company. In a statement today, Sterling, who has retained the service of attorney at law Charles Ganga Singh, said the reports caused her family emotional distress. Sterling, whose father is Jamaican, said she traveled to the country on November 7 to set up several businesses, including cannabis property and transportation management. She said upon her arrival, she rented a vehicle from Sixt Rent-A-Car. That's what I'm seeing here, SIXT rent a car, Sixt Rent-A-Car, at the Sangston International Airport for 2 weeks, during which she carried out several activities. Sterling added that following the expiration of the 2 weeks, she had requested an extension via email and WhatsApp messages, and even an in-person visit on November 16 to exchange the rental because it was leaking water. She claimed that at no point had she been out of touch with the car company, adding that she's a returning customer, having used the company during a previous August to September 2021 visit. However, according to Sterling, on Thursday, December 23, while en route to her hotel in St. Mary, she was forced off the road by individuals traveling in 2 unmarked vehicles. I was pushed off the road by 2 cars that identified themselves as police officers. I pulled off the road as they instructed me to, and they pulled out a gun on me, put it to my head, and put their hand through the passenger side window and pull up the emergency brakes and told me to get out of the car before they she shared in a video. She claims that other individuals from the vehicles approached her and began asking questions about the car that she had rented. They came up to me, and it goes on. Whoa, it's one of those stories. Emotionally, I'm under distress. My mother thought that her oldest child was dead. On Christmas Day, my entire family from the US and Jamaica started contacting me, etc., etc. She has engaged the services of a lawyer. You can read more on that story in the Observer, the online Observer. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Wonder if this was one of those videos we saw some time ago A man accused of stealing 20 phones from a store in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew, was remanded in custody when he appeared in the gun court in downtown Kingston today, charged with robbery with aggravation and illegal possession of a firearm. He's from Mandela Terrace in St. Andrew. Allegations are that 4 men entered the phone store pretending to be customers. It's reported that the men then pulled guns and robbed the store of 20 cellular phones before fleeing. Yeah, we might have seen one of those videos. There have been a few of those robberies, actually. There have been a few. Continuing with more on your program, both sides of the story, Paro 106 FM. How are things globally with respect to COVID-19? Let's not forget, we're still in that mode. The novel coronavirus has infected more than 261.4 million people. Tragically, 5.6 million people have died from COVID-19. And these are 5.6 million people spread across 196 countries and territories. As far as we're concerned here in Jamaica, 283 new cases have been reported and 2 fatalities, pushing the total number of cases of the virus since the start of the pandemic here in Jamaica to 125,250 and the death toll to 2,677. Trinidad and Tobago yesterday said it was recording a decline in the number of patients being treated for COVID-19, but health officials warned that it is still too early for people to disregard the various protocols put in place to stem the spread of the virus. And you can read on your own. You can follow up and see some of the other trending stories. In the meantime, let's clear some more of your messages on your program, both sides of the story. Paro 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Hello to Rudy Page, who is always in sunny London. Inez Iona Campbell, good afternoon to you. Jennifer Stewart from Q Road in Kencott, East Central St. Andrew. And Velta Wilson earlier on said, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm and listeners. It's a bright and beautiful day here in St. Thomas. Sharon Richards greeted us earlier on as well from Savannah Lamar, Westmoreland. Welcome. Thank you all so much for making it both sides of the story here on Paro 106 FM. Let's see now. Here's a message from, good afternoon, Dervan. I'm sure you meant Dervan. Do you know that Jamaicans need more opportunities? We just need a nice house, or, are you speaking in this using the singular here or the plural or both? We just need nice houses and a good paying job. Well, I went to a new business place in Montego Bay just to get a telephone number to find out how a person can get a job there. You have used the term lady here. Let's see. You say the lady looked at me and said, we only employ 18 to 36-year-olds. Can you imagine if you're, say, over 40 and over, it's 40 and over, it's very hard to get a job. Can you tell me if something or another at that age don't have, can you tell me if those of us at that age don't have bills and food to eat, or bills to pay and food to eat? So I prayed and asked the Lord to give me some inspiration. Yes, he did. And now I'm doing my own business. I need caregivers left, right, and center to place in homes in the 14 parishes. But most importantly, they have to do the 2 vaccines and have experience. Also, live-in caregivers. And she has given us her number as 876-826-6957. More in a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:45. Save more on prescription, cosmetics, gift items, toiletries, and stationery at Biomed Pharmacy, 4 St. Hilda's Drive, Brownstown, 917-8464, and Main Street, Gale St. Mary, 975-8275. Biomed Pharmacy, for the service you expect, plus more.
The Auto World.
It's the only program on Jamaican radio dedicated to the world of automobile. It's the Auto World with Shelley and McLagan. Get news and reviews relating to vehicles and automotive technology. Learn the ins and outs of mechanical operation. Find out about the various stakeholders in the local and international automotive sectors. From auto finance to road safety to motorcycles, the Auto World is your one-stop shop for everything auto. That's the Auto World with Shelley and McLagan. Weekdays at 5:15 p.m. on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 5:14. Quelle heure est-il en français? Il est 5:14. 现在几点了？5点14分。14 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Good afternoon to all working Jamaicans tuned in to both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. It's a good time for us to ask ourselves, how productive have we been today? How productive have we been today? Let's continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Here's a message from H. Morgan in Birmingham. H. Morgan in Birmingham says, "Hi, Dervan, good day. It seems your ardent listener, the Dread, who used to bash the Queen so bad and wanted the government of Jamaica to send him back to Africa as he felt trapped on the island, finally gone to Africa, as I have not heard him. I have not heard him come on your program for a while now. And your assumption is that he's gone to Africa? He could be anywhere, including right here in Jamaica, same place. Thank you very much. Let's continue going down the line here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Beresford Henriquez. Good afternoon to you. Beresford says, Brother Dervan, with due respect to the advocates for the sugar industry, sugar is dead, and rightfully so. I'm from Hanover, and my first employment after high school was as a bookkeeper on a large sugar estate, which supplied the Froome Sugar Factory. But we should stop relying on an industry which causes such debilitating illnesses. Really? By the way, Hanover produces the highest quality sugar canes. Thank you very much, Beresford, for your message. Ranny Bell in St. Thomas. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for tuning in, and all the very best as we continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Let's see. Let's hop across. Let's go over to YouTube and see what's happening here. On YouTube, Natalie Winter, in reference to something that was said earlier on, responds by saying, bleaching is a fact of life. Some of the ladies go for it. Ladies or women? Sure you mean women. Remember, Female is biological. Woman is chronological. Lady is cultural. On the other side, male is biological. Man is chronological. Gentleman is cultural. Let's move on. Natalie. Oh, hello, Ann Ramsey in Florida. Good afternoon. Natalie Winter says more opportunities, positions, and cash in hand. Bleaching, why not? Sugar is where it is because it is labor intensive and the stigma associated with it. Cutting cane and apples in the USA and Canada are two different things than Jamaica. We need to develop the industry. Agriculture needs to be overhauled. Start with a farm work program and the exchanging of work to cut cane and pick apples for a start. Norman Wright, good afternoon to you. Creative Q says, good day. Can someone reiterate the number for the caregivers, please? The number for the caregivers. Let's see. Let's go to this. And that came from this. Right. The number is 876 826 6957. 876 826 6957. That is the number at Creative Q. And we're pasting the number in the chat box right now and sending it to you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Keep the messages coming in. Keep the messages coming in. Who is this now? Let's go down the line and hop across to, did we greet David G. Dixon? Good afternoon to you. And condolences are in order. And we have posted the message. Hope you saw it. Sorry for your loss. Diana Watkins Forrester says, hi, Sir Malcolm and your listeners. Sharing big, just took my booster dose. I am a nurse on the front line in New York City and still trying to dodge virus. Hope I never get it, but trying to prepare just in case. More power to you. More power to you and your booster shot. A timely reminder that vaccines are available here in Jamaica. A timely reminder that we should continue to enhance or strengthen our immune system. A good time to remind ourselves that we need to continue to wear masks. A good time to remind ourselves that we need to continue maintaining at least 6 feet distancing, physical distancing. And what else do we need to do? We need to continue to frequently wash and sanitize our hands. And do not touch the face with a dirty hand. Don't use your hand to scratch any part of your face or rub your face or touch your mouth. You get the picture. Or rub your eyes. Don't do that. Resist the temptation or to mine gold in the crevices of our nostrils. No, now is not the time for that. Especially not with a dirty hand. Not with a dirty hand. This one says, "Good day, Mr. Malcolm. You have just endorsed that caregiving business. Have to be careful about that blessings. I did not endorse any enterprise. I did not. I read a message. I read a message, and we expect that people would understand. But if they don't, we'll spell it out. If we're endorsing something, you would know. We would endorse it. We would publicly endorse it. We recognize we do have a name and a number for this individual. And this individual is not new because our records show that this individual has been in touch with us before on these, let me just go down the line here. Right. And the individual is calling us now. Hello, good afternoon.
I can call and talk to you, Dervan. Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Yes. Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Yes. My name is Joyce Griffiths. You get that?
Yes. We have your name
and
in the system.
listen,
Yes, go ahead.
right? And I used to work for myself before my husband died. I had my 26 wonderful years. My husband took sick and he died. We used to run a 24-hour daycare plus a restaurant that cook grown provision for, so most of the restaurants, they cook rice. So that's what we used to do. My husband go in town and we have our place that we deliver. But because of his illness, I had to close off everything, and then the virus came along. Okay, I was trying to get job. It's over 3 years now. I don't work. Trying to get job. Went out to get job. When I went, and the lady looked at me, I didn't tell me what the job in. You know what she said to me? 18 to 36. So I said, Lord, I realize other people want job, have their bills to pay. So I've been here praying, asking the Lord, what can I do for myself? And the Lord put it on me, right? So right now, I have an agency. I went down to register just to go and collect my other things and all of that. And then I need people left, right, and center. Right now, I'm supposed to go in town. I pick for and place a lady. So it's nothing that is not, what would I say now? That is not legal or anything like that. I have people like trouble all over the parishes, need caregivers, and that's one of the hardest things to get right now. And there are people need it left, right, and center. I don't have no time for myself. Oh, people are calling. So it's nothing illegal. I can tell you where I live. Everybody knows me. I go to Faith Baptist Church in Frankers. I'm living in Frankers from I was 6 years old. And now I am still here. So it's nothing illegal. If you come to church, just ask the Auntie Joyce. Everybody knows me. I go to Faith Baptist Church from I was 15. And I am just, trying to help people, because people, when you reach a certain age, you cannot get a job. So I create that job, and it's the Lord that inspires me.
All right, Auntie Joyce, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you for the call. We have to go. Take care.
Let everybody know it's nothing illegal.
All right. You have made it quite clear. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care. Thank you so much for the privilege. Thank you once again for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, for today, Thursday, the 3rd of February, 2022. The moving finger writes, and having writ moves on, nor all your piety nor wit shall lure it back to cancel half a line, nor all your tears wash out a word of it. All things being well, Both Sides of the Story returns tomorrow afternoon, 2 to 5. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm reminding all of us that every day is an opportunity to do better than yesterday. Take care. Hi, Mrs. Barker.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now 5 o'clock. News, comprehensive, powerful, and credible. Power 106 FM now presents a simulcast of Radio Jamaica's News at 5.
Yes. No, sir. Costa Rica. Mm-hmm. I don't think anything will come out of that. I doubt anything will come out of that.
Good afternoon, I am Daedrin.
I'm packing up together.
Coming up in the news segment of Beyond the Headlines for today, Thursday, February 3,
You too. Thank you. Take care.
2022.
Bye-bye.
13 illegal guns were seized during police operations in St. Anne and Trelawney. Portland businessman Everton Beefy Stout McDonald to be tried for the murder of his ex-wife and his spouse at the same time. Woman arrested during anti-lottery scam operation in St. James. JLP supporters in St. Anne Northeast vow to continue their protest to have MP Marsha Smith replaced. In business news, oil prices passed the $90 mark for the first time in 8 years. Details of the news on Radio Jamaica 94 FM and online at radiojamaica94fm.com. 13 illegal guns, including 10 rifles, were seized today during police operations in St. Anne and Trelawney. The police say 2 submachine guns and a pistol were also found. A man was fatally shot during the operation in Trelawney.